What's going on, G's? I'm gonna be putting together a couple different videos, kind of explaining and helping newer players when it comes to PvP. Um, to start, I want to say PvP in the state it's in right now is generally for, say, veteran players. It is a lot of in-game players that constantly do the PvP matches. Um, shouldn't discourage you from trying, but at the same time, it's not fun for anybody to just walk into a battleground and get annihilated. And to be honest, if you're not at least, I would say at least 45k item level, you're not gonna have very much fun. But again, you know, if anybody would like to try, you can always sign up. In the off season would probably be a better bet for you, because what I'm about to explain right now is the PvP seasons. This is something I think they started in mod 16, I want to say. It hasn't been around for more than a year for sure, but basically they upgraded some of the rewards that you can get for playing PvP. So as you can see now, we're about halfway through this season. There are 13 days and 16 hours left. There is currently 36 pages of people that have played PvP. You'll notice a lot of these guys have alts though, so I wouldn't say 36 players, but there's definitely at least 36 pages of characters up here. You'll see a lot of the same names that are towards the top here as you become more involved, I guess you could say, in the PvP experience. I currently am not doing very well on my main character. At least I have I'm on page 13, which is over half. So this is what I wanted to show you. When you go into the season, if you click this button here, it'll show you exactly what you need to do and what rewards you can get. So for example, at the very bottom there, as long as you participate, which you have to have 6 matches completed to even land on the board. So once you complete 6 matches, whether you win or lose, doesn't matter, you land on the board. Even if you're in the very last place, in the 91 to 100% tile, you'll get 5 battle trophies. They give you a little bit just for participating. You're not actually going to get much with 5 battle trophies, but you know, moving up the board, if you're in 75 to 90%, you get 10, and so on. You can get 20. This is where I really enjoy. If you're in the top 50%, meaning you're over half, you know, of the amount of pages that there are, you get 40 battle trophies. Getting over 50% is not that difficult. Generally, if you win 3 or 4 of your first 6 matches, you will most likely get put in the top 50% as it stands. Now, obviously the top 25% is 75 and the top 10% is 100 battle trophies. So let's see what you can actually get for your rewards. Now when you pull up, or you press square and it pulls up the season rewards, you can buy some potions here. I would never ever waste your little battle trophies on the potions here, because you can buy them with either glory, or I think you can buy them for guild marks through your guild hall. So I would never spend those on this. Prez wards, not a bad reward. If you've only gotten, you know, your little 5, you might as well get 1 little prez ward out of it. I would suggest if you only get 5, just hang on to those points until the next season. 15, not bad for a rank 5, but again, with the enchanting stone, there's better ways to get them, mainly through your legacy campaigns or legacy quests. So again, any of these bottom tier rewards, I would just avoid all these. This tome of experience is a huge waste because it's not even guaranteed to be purple. So now, once you, let's say again, if you go back to the season rewards, if you land in the top 50%, you're going to get 40 battle trophies. Okay, so what can you get with 40 battle trophies? You could buy enchanting stone, mark of potency. Again, to me, these are a waste of your currency, because there's much easier ways to get them. However, when you scroll down here, you'll notice you can get a rank 13 runestone choice pack for 20. You can get a rank 13 enchantment choice pack for 20. Potentially, if you score in the top 50%, you can get 2 of these, whichever combination you choose. I preferably go with the rank 13s, and let me show you why. Just a note, you can get rank 12 armor, rank 12 weapons. Now, I've never actually purchased the armor or weapons, but if it's like the enchantment choice pack, these are not bound once you open it. So what you can do is you can, if you spend 100, you can, let's say, get if you want to get like a bark shield, which they just kind of got nerfed, so I don't know how valuable those will be or whatnot, but let's say even a weapon, you can get a rank 12 lightning potentially and sell it on the auction house for however much that's worth. I tend to focus on rank 13 enchantments, because as far as the value in the auction house, I feel like this is the best bang for your buck. let's say you did have 100 trophies, I'd rather have 5 rank 13s than 1 rank 12. So again, let's say rank 13. Let's assume that you don't need any rank 13s on your characters. You can go to the trade house here, and we'll go under refinement. We're gonna look at enchantments, and we're gonna go to legendary because a rank 13 is the first time you see a legendary. Let's make sure we got the buyout here just to get a clear view. So the cheapest ones, obviously the Fae, Dragon Horse, stuff like that, 200k. Let's see. Now with the combat changes, I know a lot of the older stuff is not necessarily the best. So a Radiant 13 will get you close to 500,000, you know, half a mil, not bad at all. I believe the one I saw was, I believe the Darks have gone up. Let's take a look at that. Dark Enchantment, almost 800,000. So potentially, just by joining the top 50% of PvPers, you get 2 of these. So that's a 1.6 mil. Let's not count auction house prices. Obviously, it'll fluctuate a little bit, but at least 1.5 mil you can get just for 6 matches of PvP if you stay in the top 50%. And of course, you know, there's going to be other ones. Let's see what Savages are. These are some of the 2 stats. Savages about half a mil. Fishes. Let's check these out. Vicious, about half a mil. So I think really right now the best bang for your buck is going to be the Dark Enchantments, but that's not a bad incentive for a little bit of PvP. Secondly, I would like to go into the campaigns because these also got reworked. I think it was mod 16, I believe. There's some interesting rewards here. Obviously, kills and assists is your first category, captures are second, and your wins are the third category. As you progress in PvP and you do better and you get these little things, you'll move up and you'll get different rewards. So the first reward here, 10,000 glory. Not a great incentive in itself because really with glory there's a couple things you can purchase, which I'm going to put in the video as well. A couple things you can purchase that'll improve your PvP skills or your survivability in PvP. One of those was being the potions. There are a couple artifacts you can get with the glory, so in itself it's not the biggest reward. You get a boon on the second one. These are similar all across the board. And then let's see, moving up to warrior, 25,000 glory. Now, at a certain point, you're not going to have much to spend glory on. So, worst case scenario, you could always donate it to the coffer. I don't really know how helpful that is for leveling up the guild. But what I wanted to show you here is the third reward. Not bad, 100k rough astro diamonds. And you can see that that's completely across the board again. I'm not going to lie, PvP is very much a personal choice to make. I, on one hand, really enjoyed PvP. I played it in multiple games across my time as a gamer. It is very punishing, but it's also very rewarding. If you are definitely in PvP just to make some of the AD like we were talking about earlier, then really I don't see any of these boons or even the 300k AD is not going to be a very big incentive for you. This is more for, like, obviously if you just really enjoy PvP. I will say furthermore too, if you go and look at the actual boons, these are not bad boons. They're very, very helpful, but the catch is that these only work when you're flagged for PvP. So none of these boons will actually help you outside of a battleground or, like, say Icewind Dale, any of the world PvP areas. However, if you do enjoy PvP, these are actually very helpful boons to have. Again, you can only get those through the campaign. So if your primary concern is just going to be the AD that you can make, you know, the boons of the campaign isn't going to be something you're super interested in. I will say this as well, going back into the PvP standings, you can potentially put multiple characters up on the board. As you see, Deadly Taco, this guy's a savage. He's got 3 characters on page 1 as it is. That means he's going to get, wrong button, at least on 3 characters. That'll put him in the top 25%. So he's going to get at least 75 battle trophies on all 3 of those characters. He potentially, I believe, is going to get top 10% for all those. So that's going to be 300 battle trophies alone. So if you do the math and you're buying, let's say, the rank 13s for 300 trophies, you're going to get 15 rank 13s. And if you sell 15 of the rank 13s, let's say they're at 800,000 AD. Let me do the math real quick. you could probably do it in your head faster. That's 12 million right there. That man is about to make 12 million AD off of PvP. Now, each season is about 30 days long, roughly, and they take about 2 weeks off in between the seasons. Now, again, this man, I believe, actually has other characters up here on the board as well. I don't know offhand. I've encountered him a lot. So with the new combat changes and the new mod coming up, it's going to be more difficult to level up alts if you don't have them already leveled up. For the beginning of this season, we were still in the old combat system. So for me personally, I had a bunch of level 80s, nothing really special about them. But what I would do, I would spend gold to move my enchants off of my main character and move them around to my other characters. Now, I didn't do nearly as good as that guy Deadly Taco, but I do have, I think, 5 characters on the board. Even if they don't all, make it over the 50%, little by little, they're still getting rewards, and it's still something I can translate into AD. As you see here, my piece of shit great weapons fighter that I did not do a lot of work on, he only played 6 matches. 4 of those were wins, 2 were losses. This was the very first day that this came out, almost 2 weeks ago. He's still on page 13 over 36. So because I won 4 and lost 2, he's still in the top 50%, and I didn't have to play another game at all. So in the top 50%, I'm going to get 40 battle trophies off of him alone. That one character is going to earn me 1.5 million after taxes, right? My rogue, I really enjoy PvP, so I've lost a lot, I've won a lot. He keeps jumping all over the board, trying to get him obviously closer to the top. And I know I have my wizard, and I have my cleric, and I have my paladin in here somewhere. They didn't do very well. So what I was going to say too, your first 6 matches that actually put you on the board are very important. Sometimes if you lose 1 or 2 in a row, it's more helpful to just wait a couple hours and come back instead of trying to, sometimes it's just a smaller group of people that are playing at the time, and you might keep getting put on a bad team, or there's a lot of variations that can happen there. But yep, like I said, I'll be going over some PvP tactics and some different builds, and just different items and stuff like that that's going to help your character if you are interested in PvP. Actually, here in a moment, I'm going to show you some of the rewards you can get from the PvP vendors, which again, that's where that glory can go. There are a couple things that can help out your build, so we're going to talk about that in just a moment. So we are here in Protector's Enclave. There is the Festival of Lanterns event going on right now, which is awesome. I'm gonna go over that in a separate little video just for the event, but I wanted to show you on the map right over here is the Trade of Blades. So continuing on our discussion of PvP, this is a place where you can go spend your glory and get the rewards that may or may not come with it. My loading screen kind of sucks. As you can see, I'm lagging. Always a fun thing. Now, these are the different vendors that are going to offer different rewards. Here you can buy these battle potions, which I'm going to talk about in a second, because there's actually a really good way to get these battle potions to work very, very well in PvP. You can buy this companion. Not a horrible companion, and at this certain point, if you PvP often enough, you're gonna start running out of stuff to buy with your glory. So it can't hurt, to add a little bit to your bolster potentially, whatnot. This Blood Crystal Raven Skull has can give you a huge advantage in PvP. I purchased one myself, and I brought it to Mystic or whatever it's called. I will show you in a minute why it is so great. But I'm gonna need a help of a co-guildie to do damage to me to really show you the full effect. So we'll come back to that. Again, badges of glory. You could trade your Seal of Triumph for the glory badges. It gives you 250 glory. It's not very often you're gonna have to do that, but let's say maybe you're like 3,000 away from getting the skull or whatever. You could trade those in to just boost your numbers really quick if you need to do a quick little purchase there. This guy, these banners are decent. I had one that I got to legendary, and to be honest, I just found that there was another artifact that was more useful in PvP. Now, you can kind of look at them. Like 5% movement speed is awesome. You gain your action points 1% faster, and they gain theirs slower, but it's a 30-second thing. The biggest problem with these is that as you use them, you're throwing a banner into the ground, So if you move outside that area, it's no longer going to be beneficial to you. And a lot of times in PvP, you're moving around quite a bit. Now, if you're using the Defender's banner, this is the one I got, and I could show you, I believe under collections, it'll show how powerful it can get if you level it up. These are pretty decent when you're trying to capture a node or you're defending a node. Again, I believe that there are better artifacts out there. At this time, until they upgrade these or change them, I would not suggest purchasing these. But if you have nothing else to spend your glory on, it can't hurt. These little banner caches, basically you buy one, I believe, and then you can rebuy these for alt or something like that. I don't remember how that worked. Or maybe they gave you one of these for something. I honestly don't know about that shit. Will say though, some of these vendors are actually a lot older than the other ones. For example, you can see that these are item level 40. Not very good. Once you're in PvP though, the item level does get boosted, and to be honest, there probably was a point in time where these were decent to get into PvP, but now even just the basic stuff you get on your character through Avernus is going to carry you further than these. But some of them look kind of cool. You can check them out. Like, I still have that chest piece from earlier. You know, I mean, some of them, most likely you can find different armor that has the same effects if you're really just looking for a transmog. Same with the rings. The rings are no longer valid, really. Pants, shirt. The pants and shirts here do have specific effects that can help with PvP. Again, there's just better options out there, but you can always check these out for yourself. Nothing really spectacular there. So these were the newest set of PvP armor pieces that were available. Most recent, I will say. Not horrible. They're really not horrible. If you look at the item level, it's 1020 when you're in a PvP match. The stats are definitely, well, they were geared more towards PvP, but with the combat changes, you're gonna see that they're maybe not gonna be specifically what you're looking for on each character, but the effects are very interesting. If an enemy is healed for more than 25% of their maximum health points, you gain 5% of your health back. It only occurs if the enemy has 75% health or less. Well, the thing about that is, most of the time they're going to heal is when they're at 75% or less. 5% of your actual health back though is not that great. And you could look on my right, you know, the Lion Guard raid gloves are very basic, but I'd rather technically have that extra power when I strike an enemy. So, you know, you can look, all the bracers are about the same. The stats are different, but the effect at the bottom is going to be the same. With the chest piece, if you're damaging a target with shield or temporary HP, you gain temporary HP equal to 20% of the damage inflicted. I will say this, there is a lot of times in PvP where your target has a shield or temporary HP. Again, you're only gaining temporary HP equal to 20% of the damage you inflict. That can go either way. Again, to me, none of this stuff is really like a must-have for PvP, but it is a quick option if you want to just have a separate set of gear. These are pretty inexpensive once you get in there. I just donated a lot of my glory, so that's why I'm kind of low on it, but I've purchased all of these at least one part in my PvP time. Again, with the boots, if an enemy dodges, blocks, sprints, or shadow slips, which they always do in PvP, you do 3% more damage. That is actually pretty great. For me, the boots that I have right now, I feel like are more valuable. But these boots are definitely pretty good for DPS as a starter in PvP. And then your helmet, for every second you're stunned, knocked, or dazed, your power is increased by 1200, and you can maximize that up to 12,000. Awesome, because you do get stunned, knocked, and dazed quite a bit in PvP. However, now there's a cap on power, and it's pretty easy to achieve your cap. So I don't think this is going to be a good helmet to be running anymore. So we're going to go, these are some older rewards, but just going to go ahead and throw them in there. These are level 60 items, so I wouldn't say any of these are detrimental against your enemies if you're wearing them. The Grim stuff is a different type of battleground that nobody really runs anymore. So to get these, that's actually in the next window. But again, these are all low level pieces. This guy, so the Gonzo Grim Trader, they had some pretty good equipment back in the day, but it was level 60. They never upgraded it. I think the stuff looked pretty cool, which is one of the reasons I was interested in trying to get it before. Obviously on my Dragonborn it doesn't look as cool. When I was Dark Elf it looked pretty sweet. But you have to get these Grim coins, and since nobody runs Gontal Grim and the gear is not valuable at all, there's really no point to that. I believe that was it for the vendors here, but I did want to show you one thing that I have done recently is if go to my boons here, let me show you. So PvP boons, I'll go over this specifically later when I show just my rogues build. Again with offense, oh, I guess it would help if I go in my PvP loadout here. Let's do that. I just want to show here, so because I said power is pretty easy to cap out, I still put some of my boon points into power just because that's less gear I need directed towards power, which I could put that gear to something else. But what I wanted to note here, I've done 2 different tests with this after the combat change. The maximum hit point increase is not as strong as it used to be, in my opinion. I think total I've used all of these boon points and it brought me up by maybe 30,000, 50,000 HP. Not a lot at all. But if you use these boon points on your potions, each of these will increase the effectiveness of healing potions by 1% per rank. At rank 5 adds a chance for your healing potion to continue healing you for another 30 seconds. So I've got 5, 10, 14. So each of my healing potions is going to do an extra 14% on the heals. Now if I go into my guild stronghold and go to the boons that I'm using on utility, I'm using this one. It gives an additional up to 48% on my healing potions. I'm gonna have to cut to another clip to really show you the full advantage of that, but let's say yeah, my potions actually bring me back quite a bit, and when you combine it with this blood rose and crystal skull or whatever, you can see at the top right now it's not giving me much of a shield, but as your health is lower, that blue shield will potentially almost completely fill up your bar, which I'll demonstrate in a little bit. So then you pop that and then you use a potion on top of it. It's almost like reviving yourself and giving yourself a second life here.